All right, today we are diving into two really different but surprisingly connected quests to see the unseeable. We're going to start with the hard science of the quantum world and then pivot to decoding a message that's hidden in plain sight using symbols. Let's see how it all comes together.
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? It doesn't matter if you're talking about the super weird behavior of subatomic particles or trying to find the hidden meaning in some cryptic text. We've always been driven to make the invisible visible. And that's the thread that's going to tie everything together for us today. So first up, let's ground ourselves in the world of hard science. We're talking about a breakthrough that didn't just bend the rules of physics, it completely shattered how we thought we could see reality itself.
At the very heart of this is a totally mind-bending idea. You know all those bizarre, counterintuitive rules of the quantum world? The stuff we thought only happened at the tiniest, most invisible scales? Well, suddenly, it was proven to be happening in a system big enough you could actually hold it in your hand. This wasn't just a theory anymore, it was a physical, observable thing. So how in the world is that even possible? Well, to get it, you have to wrap your head around one of the strangest rules in all of quantum mechanics. It's called quantum tunneling. Just imagine throwing a ball at a solid wall. In our everyday world, it bounces right back. Simple. But as you can see in this diagram, in the quantum world, a particle can just kind of appear on the other side. It's like a ghost walking straight through a wall. It passes through an energy barrier that it just shouldn't be able to cross. And that is exactly what these scientists proved. Way back in the 1980s, their pioneering experiments showed this ghostly tunneling effect happening not just with one tiny particle, but inside an entire electrical circuit. They figured out a way for us to actually watch and measure it, proving that the impossible was in fact happening on a scale we could finally see. You know, a discovery this big does way more than just win awards. It forces us to question the very foundations of how we understand things. It suggests we might need a whole new way of looking at the world.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? The source material here is arguing that to see these new truths, you have to make a choice. You have to be willing to let go of old, comfortable ideas. The real barrier isn't just technical, it's in our own heads. We have to be willing to accept that what we thought was impossible might not be. So, this is the big shift in thinking. On the left, you've got the old way, getting tangled up in these super complex theories that often just end up labeling things impossible. But on the right, you've got the new paradigm, using simple devices that give you concrete, observable results, even if they totally defy the old rules. It's a huge move away from abstract complexity and towards practical, hands-on proof. And this puts it in a really powerful historical context. Think about it. Galileo's telescope didn't invent the planets. It was just a new lens that let us see them. Leeuwenhoek's microscope showed us a world of tiny life that was there all along. The argument here is that these simple devices today, they're our new lens. They're opening up another chapter of reality that was invisible to us before. And this brings us to a fascinating pivot point. We've seen how a physical lens can show us a new scientific reality. But what about realities that aren't physical at all? What kind of lens do we need to decode messages hidden not in circuits, but in symbols, in time, and in the sky itself? And that question leads us straight here. We're leaving the physics lab and stepping into a completely different kind of puzzle, a cryptic, fragmented text that presents a different kind of invisible world, one made of meaning, not matter. So the puzzle starts with this collage of symbols. You see dates like December 2025, which kind of ties us back to our Nobel Prize timeline. You've got phrases in different languages, and this strange, almost poetic imagery, moon fortune, smile to smile. I mean, on its own, it looks totally random, almost like nonsense. It's an invisible message, just waiting for the right lens to bring it into focus. Okay, so here's where the decoding begins. The lens in this case turns out to be scriptural context. That phrase in Burmese isn't random at all. The numbers 13 and 14 point directly to specific chapters in the Old Testament book of Deuteronomy, which are all about rejecting falsehood and living with reverence. And look at Bible law curse. That points to other chapters about divine justice. Slowly but surely, the code is starting to break. But here's the thing. This isn't just about dusting off some ancient texts. The way these symbols are presented in this fragmented, digital kind of way suggests that something brand new is being created. It's like a modern ritual, a digital age liturgy. The meaning gets even deeper when you look at the clues in the margins. The timestamps, 4:30 p.m. and 6:42 a.m., aren't just random times. They correspond to civil twilight, those moments between day and night that are often considered sacred times for prayer and reflection. And the location, Sogong in Myanmar, is a major spiritual center for Buddhism. So what we're actually seeing is this incredible dialogue. It's a personal meditation on Abrahamic law, but it's happening in a sacred Buddhist place at a sacred time of day. This quote from the analysis just captures the whole thing so beautifully. This isn't just a random jumble of text. It's a powerful liturgy for our digital age, where the everyday tools of our modern world, timestamps, profile pictures, you name it, are transformed into instruments for spiritual expression. So, after all this decoding, where does this journey ultimately lead us? Well, just like that scientific paradigm shift we talked about, this symbolic journey reveals its own profound change in perspective. What's so fascinating is that there's a clear story arc here. The message starts with these references to law and judgment in the Old Testament, but it doesn't just stay there. It builds and builds towards a resolution found in the New Testament, one that speaks of redemption and grace. It's a journey from a lens of judgment to a lens of mercy. And the entire symbolic structure, all these pieces, seem to build up to this one single powerful directive from Deuteronomy itself. After laying out all the laws, the blessings, the curses, the text lands on a fundamental choice. It's not just about blindly following rules. It's about making an active, conscious decision. And that really leaves us with this final question. Whether we're using the lens of a scientific instrument or the lens of symbolic interpretation, we've seen that what we perceive depends entirely on how we choose to look. We can see a world of impossible barriers, or we can see a world where particles can tunnel right through walls. We can see a random collage of symbols, or we can see a profound journey from judgment to mercy. So the real question isn't just what's out there to be seen, but what lens will you choose to see it with?